Hi guys, welcome to English Winglish. Today we are going to listen to a dialogue. Shall we? This dialogue is between two friends, Saman and Kamani. Hi Kamani, why don't you play with us? I forgot to do my maths homework. It won't be a problem, dear. Why? I can't be punished by ma'am. Why did you say so? Our maths teacher has gone for a seminar, so she will not come. Oh my goodness, then I can come and play. Yes, come soon because it's only 10 minutes more to ring the bell. Here I have underlined some words. Play, forgot, do, be, punished, did, say, will, come, has, play, gone and ring. All these underlined words always represent an action. මේ අන්ඩර්ලයින් කරලා තියෙන වචන වලින් හැම වෙලාවෙම මොකක් හරි ඇක්ෂන් එකක් ගැන තමයි කියවෙන්නේ. එක්ක මොකක් හරි දෙයක් වුණා, එක්ක මොකක් හරි දෙයක් කරා. ඉතින් අද අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න යන්නේ අන්න ඒව ගැන. So today our lesson is verbs. Verbs එහෙමත් නැතිනම් ක්‍රියාපද. A verb is a word used with the subject to say what someone or something does, what they are or what happens to them. Verb එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ වචනයක්. අපි ඒක use කරන්නේ subject එකත් එක්ක. අපි ඒක use කරන්නේ කවුරු හරි කෙනෙක් හරි මොන හරි දෙයකින් මොන හරි දෙයක් වුණා නැත්නම් කොහොමද යාලා මොනවද යාලට සිද්ධ වුනේ මෙන්න මේ වගේ action එකක් ගැන කතා කරන්න තමයි අපි හැම වෙලේම verbs use කරන්නේ. Now let's see how can we classify verbs. According to the way they form the past, we can divide verbs as regular verbs and irregular verbs. Sometimes these two types may be familiar with you. Second one, according to the function. We can divide verbs as auxiliary verbs and main verbs or lexical verbs. With the object also, there is a classification as transitive verbs, intransitive verbs and ditransitive verbs. Last one, with the action or without the action, we can divide verbs as action verbs and stative verbs. As I said before, with the function we can divide verbs into two, as auxiliary verbs and main verbs or lexical verbs. So now we are going to check those in detail. So the two classifications, lexical verbs and auxiliary verbs. Under lexical verbs, we are going to discuss transitive verbs, ditransitive verbs, intransitive verbs, linking verbs, finite and non-finite verbs, regular, irregular verbs. So, the things we discuss above are here, right? Next one, auxiliary verbs. Under auxiliary verbs, we have to learn primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. So, what are lexical verbs? Lexical verbs have a distinct lexical meaning and they can occur in a sentence as full verbs. Sentence එකක lexical verb එකක් ගත්තාම ඒ verb එකට distinct meaning එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ඒ verbs වලට sentences වල full verb එකක් විදිහට act කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. Auxiliary verbs. They cannot occur in a sentence on their own. They function as helping verb before a lexical verb. Auxiliary verbs වලට lexical verbs වලට වගේ තනියම sentence එකක act කරන්න බෑ. එයාලා ගොඩක් වෙලාවට function වෙන්නේ helping verb එකක් විදිහට. ඒ වගේම එයාලා ගොඩක් වෙලාවට lexical verb එකක් ඉස්සරහින් තමයි ඉන්නේ. අපි උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් අපි යමු මුලින්ම අපි ඩිස්කස් කරපු ඩයලොග් එකට. See this one. I can't be punished. So, punished is a lexical verb. Punish කියලා කියන්නේ lexical verb එකක්. ඒකට distinct meaning එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක sentence එකක full verb එකක් විදිහට act කරලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි can't කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? be කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? be කියලා කියන්නේ මෙතන primary auxiliary එකක්. can't එහෙම නැත්නම් cannot. can it's a modal verb. ඒක modal verb එකක්. ඒක modal auxiliary එකක්. can කියන එකට lexical verb එකක් වගේ sentence එකක fully act කරන්න බෑ. ඒක හැම වෙලාවෙම function වෙන්නේ helping verb එකක් විදිහට. Today we are not going to discuss both types. Today we are going to discuss only lexical verbs. Because if we are going to do both today, it will be a mess and you will be in a trouble. Lexical verbs. අපි අද lesson එක මෙහෙම පටන් ගමු. ඔයාලා දැකලා ඇති සමහරක් වෙලාවට අපිට questions එනවා blanks fill කරන්න. ඒවට ඒ වගේන් අහනවා අපෙන් blanks වලට correct verb formation එක fill කරන්න කියලා. අන්න ඒ වගේ වෙලාවකදී මෙන්න මේක දැනගෙන ඉන්න එක ගොඩක් ප්‍රයෝජනවත් වෙනවා. verb forms ගත්තහම mainly there are 5 verb formations. First, base form. Second, present form. Present participle, past form, and the last one is past participle form. First of all, let's see where we have to use the base formation of a verb. You have 6 examples. See the first one. They eat rice. So, it's a simple sentence, right? The tense is simple present tense. So, in such occasions, we have to use the base formation of the verb eat. Second one, when you give commands like shut the door, open the door, we have to use the base formation. And third one, he wants to play with you. I saw him play in the playground. With to, after to, we have to use always the base formation of the verb. But in the second one, to is not there, but we have to use the base formation of the verb. Fourth one, she does not like fruits. They do not write letters. In the negative formation also, we are not going to change the base formation. We have to keep it as it is. Fifth one, after modals, we always use the base formation. She will play tomorrow. Last one, in interrogatives, we use the base formation. For example, does she like fruits? Do they write letters? Did you go there? Right? අපි base form එක හැම වෙලාවෙම use කරනවා simple present tense sentences වල. ඒ වගේම command එකක් දෙද්දී. to එක අපි use කරන verb එක හැම වෙලාවෙම base form එකෙන් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි සමහරක් වෙලාවට to නැතුවත් අපි base form එකෙන් තියෙන වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම අපි නැත යන ආකාරයකින් මොන හරි වාක්‍යයක් කියද්දිත් අපි use කරන verb එකේ වෙනසක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. right? And modals එක modal එකකට පස්සේ අනිවාර්යෙන්ම එන verb එක base form එකෙන් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. She will play tomorrow. Will is the modal, then the play is the verb. So it is in its base form. Last one, interrogatives. අපි මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න අහද්දී අපි use කරද්දී verbs අපි base form එකෙන් තියන්න ඕනේ. Second one, present formation. Present formation vary according to the subject of a sentence. See the example. She eats rice. They eat rice. The verb vary as eats and eat with she and they. So she is the subject and it is third person singular. So in the second one, they is the subject and it is in its plural formation. So with third person singular subjects, we have to use the present formation of the verbs, and with plurals we have to use the base formation of the verb. Next one, present participle, the ing formations, right? So with all continuous tenses, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, in all those continuous tenses we have to use the verb with ing. See the examples. I am cooking dinner. They are working hard, right? So, and if it is a verbal adjective or a pre-modifier of a noun, we have to keep it in ing form. For example, walking stick, dining table, right? And also we use the ing formations in gerunds, verbal nouns, right? For example, exercising is good for health. Smoking is dangerous, right? So the last one, as non-finite forms, we use the ing formation. You can learn those non-finite formations later, right? So අපි ing forms use කරන්නේ continuous tenses එක්ක හැම වෙලාවෙම. ඒ වගේම verbal adjective එකක් එක්කත් අපි use කරන්නේ ing form එක. gerunds එක්ක, verbal nouns එක්ක අපි use කරන්නේත් ing formation එක noun එකක. ඒ වගේම non finite formation එකෙදිත් අපි මේකම තමයි use කරන්නේ. අපි ඒ formation එක තව ඉස්සරහට යද්දී ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. Fourth one, the past formation. So we use past verbs with all past happened actions, right? So for example, she bought a new car yesterday, right? It is a completed action and it has happened yesterday, right? It's in past. So last week I completed the assignment, right? Last week I did it, right? That's the action is over. So in such occasions we have to use the past formation of a verb. So bought means the past formation of the verb bring. So completed means the base form of the past formation verb completed is complete. The last one, past participle. Past participle form we use with all perfect tenses. It means with has, have, we have to use the past participle formation of a verb. And with passive sentences, with non-finite clauses as pre-modifiers of a noun. For example, broken chair. Broken is the past participle formation of the verb break. Break, broke, broken. Break is its base form. If we're going to keep it in present form, it is breaks. So break, broke. Broke means the past formation. Broken is the past participle. If it is in present participle, we have to add ing, then it will become breaking. So simply these are the places where you have to use the discussed formations. So now you know how to replace the correct formation of a verb according to its nature. I want to give you more examples for these formations, right? So see the grid I have prepared for you. It is with 5 columns: the infinitive formation or the base formation, present formation, present participle, past and past participle. Then I have divided the grid into 3 sections. Now we'll move on to the first section. See the verbs I have given: drink, eat, grow, ring. And in the second formation, drinks, eats, grows, rings. And the third one is with ing. The fourth formation, the past formation of the infinitive formation, infinitive verbs. And the last one is past participle. So you can see all these 5 forms are different. Right? මේ මම දීලා තියෙන ඔක්කොම verbs මේ ආකාර පහෙන් ගත්තොත් වෙනස්. එක්කෙනෙකුට එක්කෙනෙක් වෙනස්. හරිද? In the second section, the past formation and the past participle formation of the verb are the same, right? Bring, brings, bringing, brought, brought. Buy, buys, buying, bought, bought. Meet, meets, meeting, met, met. Next one, pay, pays, paying, paid, paid. Last one, build, builds, building, built, built. Last section. In the last section, infinitive formation of the verb sometimes similar with the past formation of the verb, sometimes with the past participle formation, and sometimes with the both past formation and the past participle formation. See the first 2 examples. Shut and split. That infinitive formation is similar with both past formation and past participle formation, right? Next one, come and become. So those 2 verbs also has the same as past participle formation. Come, comes, coming, came, come. Become, becomes, becoming, became, become. Next one, beat, right? It is similar with the past formation. And the last one is run. It is similar with the past participle. So this is the way the verbs differ one another. So if you can by heart these things, or if you can keep these things in mind, you can do the verb formation questions very easy. As we discussed under verbs classifications, we discussed about regular verbs, irregular verbs, and action verbs and stative verbs. So I'm going to explain those verbs separately. Regular verbs form their past tense by adding d or ed at the end. But irregular verbs change their structure to form the past tense. Regular verbs කියලා කියන්නේ අපිට ඒ verbs පුළුවන් එයාලගේ past tense එක d හරි ed හරි දාලා වෙනස් කරලා හදාගන්න. හැබැයි irregular verbs කියලා කියන්නේ අපිට එහෙම කරන්න බෑ. එයාලට වෙනමම structure එකක් තියෙනවා. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් walk කියන එක අපි ඒක past tense කරන්න නම් walk කියන එකට ed දාලා walked විදිහට ගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි go කියන verb එක ගත්තොත් අපිට ඒකට d හරි ed හරි දාලා past formation එක හදාගන්න බෑ. It has a separate verb as went. go කියන එකේ past formation එක went. අපිට ඒක මොනාරි කරලා rule එකකට හදාගන්න බෑ. We have to by heart it. So අනේ විදිහට verbs change වෙනවා regular verbs, irregular verbs කියලා. අපිට DED දාලා හදාගන්න පුළුවන් verbs වලට අපි regular කියනවා. එහෙම බැරි ඒවාට අපි irregular කියනවා. So the other 2 types, dynamic verbs and stative verbs. So dynamic verbs in the sense action verbs. Dynamic verbs වලටම තමයි action verbs කියලා කියන්නේ. So these action verbs usually describe actions we can take or things that happen. මේ action verbs කියන ඒවා හැම වෙලාවෙම describe කරන්නේ අපි කරපු action එකක් ගැන, right? අපිට උණු දෙයක් ගැන. For example, drink, eat, read, learn, write, walk, etc. The other type is stative verbs. So they describe a condition or a state, and they prefer to the way the things are. For example, like appearance, right? It's a state, it's a condition, right? And these types of verbs we can never use in continuous formations. It means we cannot keep these verbs in its ing formations. For example, love, prefer, hate, know, etc. I think you understood the lesson up to this. If you have any doubt, please rewind the video and start again, right? Shall we move on to the types of lexical verbs we discuss under the classification of verbs? Transitive, ditransitive, intransitive, linking verbs, finite and non-finite verbs. Right, now we are going to move on to those in detail. First one, transitive verbs. See the example. A thief stole my purse. A thief stole my purse. This sentence is in its past tense because past form of the verb is used as stole, right? The present formation of this verb is steal. So I have underlined my purse and it is the object of the given sentence. So this verb is followed by an object, right? The verb stole is followed by an object. මේ verb එක follow කරලා තියෙනවා object එකක් එක්ක. My purse කියන object එකත් එක්ක මේ verb එක follow කරලා තියෙනවා. හරිද? අන්න ඒ වගේ ඒවාට අපි කියනවා transitive verbs කියලා. ඒ වගේම transitive verbs තියෙන sentences අපිට පුළුවන් passive voice වලට change කරන්න. For example, my purse was stolen by a thief. මේ දීලා තියෙන example එක අපි passive කරොත් my purse was stolen by a thief. එතකොට transitive verbs කියලා කියන්නේ මේ verbs හැම වෙලාවෙම object එකක් follow කරනවා. ඒ වගේම transitive verbs තියෙන sentences අපිට passive කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. Second one, ditransitive verbs. So it has two objects. Those verbs followed by two objects. For example, Amal gave Kamini a gift. So the verb is gave. It is followed by two objects as indirect object and the direct object, right? So these types of sentences we can passivize in two ways, as Kamini was given a gift by Amal and as well as a gift was given to Kamini by Amal. Ditransitive verbs හැම වෙලාවෙම direct object, indirect object කියලා objects දෙකක් follow කරනවා. ඒ වගේම ditransitive verbs තියෙන sentence එකක් අපිට දෙවිධයකට passive කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Amal gave Kamini a gift. So Amal gave what? A gift, no? So it is the direct object. So to whom he has given? To Kamini. So it is the indirect object. Gave කියන එක directly combine වෙන්නේ gift එකත් එක්ක. මොනවද දුන්නේ? A gift. So it is the direct object. So to whom it was given? එක කාටද දුන්නේ? To Kamini. So it is the indirect object, right? Third type, intransitive verbs. So intransitive verbs followed only by an adverbial, not with an object, right? So adverbial means, what is adverbial? Adverbial is a word or a phrase that is used as an adverb to modify a verb or a clause. Adverbial එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ word එකක් නැත්නම් phrase එකක් අපි use කරනවා verb එකක් නැත්නම් clause එකක් modify කරන්න. verb එකක් ගැන clause එකක් ගැන මොන හරි දෙයක් වැඩිපුර describe කරලා කියන්න අපි මේ adverbials use කරනවා. So the sentences with intransitive verbs cannot passive. We cannot passive these types of sentences. For example, someone walked into the class. So someone is the subject, walked is the verb, into the class is the adverbial. So there is no any object, right? So only to modify the verb walked, only to describe the verb walked, they have used the set of words into the class as an adverbial. එතකොට අපිට මෙන්න මේ වගේ sentences passive form එකට හරවන්න බෑ. මොකද object එකක් නැහැනේ. adverbial එකක් විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. අපි මේ adverbial එක use කරලා තියෙන්නේ just to describe the verb. මේ verb එක පොඩක් describe කරන්න, පොඩක් modify කරන්න තමයි අපි මෙන්න මේ වචන ටික එකතු කරලා මේ clause එක adverbial එකක් විදිහට හදලා මෙතෙන්ට add කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? Next one, linking verbs. So they do not express an action, they just connect the subject of the verb to give more information about the subject. For example, we can take am, is, are, etc. as common linking verbs. So normally we divide linking verbs into two types, current linking verbs and resulting linking verbs. Current linking verbs always indicate appearance, taste or sound. Resulting linking verbs, they indicate a result of a process like grow, fall, become, etc. Last one, finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Finite verbs has a subject and it shows tense. For example, the thief escaped again. So this sentence has a subject, it is the thief. So the verb is escaped and it is in the past formation. Under verb formations, we have learned 5 types. So from that 5 types, escaped is under the past formation. So we can come to a conclusion that this sentence is in its past tense. So finally, this sentence has a subject and also a tense. So we can conclude that the verb escaped as a finite verb. So I would like to give you some hints. So when you go to select a finite verb, it always near to the subject and it always change with the tense. According to the tense, the verb is vary. And with the subject, right? With the subject also, the verb will vary. For example, she eats rice and they eat rice. She is third person singular, they is plural. So subject she, in the second sentence the subject is they. So with the subject, with singular and pluralization of the subject, the verb will change. Next, non-finite verbs. They do not show tense or have the subject verb agreement, right? So sometimes it is with the infinitive to, right? And or it may be with the base formation. So if not, it may be in ing formation or maybe in past participle, right? So they do not show any tense or they do not follow the subject verb agreement. So mostly they are with the infinitive to, or they are with their base formation or ing formation or past participle. So now we are going to move for few examples. I go to school to become a doctor. My sister, she goes to school to become a doctor, right? So I go to school to become a doctor. I go to school to become a doctor. But my sister or she goes with the subject, the verb go vary, right? To school to become a doctor. So the next verb, the second verb come with to, it does not have any tense, right? It is in its base formation, become. I am going to school to become a doctor. The sentence is in its present continuous. So according to present continuous, the verb is very, am, going, but the second verb is same as above. So next one, she is going to become a doctor. I am going, she is going. With the subject, the verb change, right? So my sister went to school to become a doctor last year. My sister will go to school to become a doctor next year, right? So with the past tense and the future tense, the verb go vary, but the second verb does not. So finally, go is a finite verb. It shows the tense and it has subject verb agreement. Become is a non-finite verb in the given examples because it has no tense or subject verb agreement. That's all for today's lesson. We'll meet soon with the second part of this. Bye bye.